Okay, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I would like to read a quote by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, "Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth." Thank you. So this quote was from Bhagavad Gita. So, dear devotees, today we are very fortunate. We have Her Grace Prema Padmini Mataji from India, and Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Verse 5. Hare Krishna Mataji, please supply humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. You may take over the call when you are ready.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyanjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruvedma Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namne Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurkata Dham Dhaya Nagar Gram Tarni Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharni Nirvisesh Sunyavadi Paschat Deshtarni Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6 Chapter 19 Text 5. The matter of the Pumsavana ritualistic ceremony. Yatatvam kripaya bhutya Tejasa Mahimaujasa Jushta Isha Gunai Sarvais Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu. Translation. O my Lord, because you're endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glories, strength, and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. Purport. In this verse, the words Tatosi Bhagavan Prabhu means, therefore you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all six opulences in full, and moreover, he is extremely kind to his devotee. Although he is full in himself, he nonetheless wants all the living entities to surrender unto him so that they may engage in his service. Thus he becomes satisfied. Although he is full in himself, he nonetheless becomes pleased when his devotee offers him patram pushpam phalam toyam, a leaf, flower, fruit, or water in devotion. Sometimes the Lord, as a child of Mata Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food as if he were very hungry. Sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus he requests the devotee to repair them. Sometimes he is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out himself, he requests his devotee to rescue him. Sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. Even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all possessions and is self-sufficient, he depends on his devotees. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord and his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 11.33, where the Lord tells Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin, O Arjuna, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra, but nonetheless he induced his devotee Arjuna to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name and mission all over the world, but still he depended upon his devotee to do this work. Considering all these points, the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency is that he depends on his devotees. This is called his causeless mercy. Devotee who has perceived this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by realization can understand the master and the servant. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyanjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutali Srimate Jayapataka Swaminati Namne Namah Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayani Gaur Katha Dham Dhayana Grahantarni Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutali Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminati Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharni Nirvisesh Sunyavadi Paschat Deshtarni Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 19, Text 5. O my Lord, because you're endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glory, strength, and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. So even before the opulences, she mentions that you're endowed with causeless mercy. That is the most important quality of the Supreme Lord, that he is so merciful. And that is what one quality lacking in this material world. The mercy, quality of mercy descends from above. It is not a quality of this material world to show mercy. Mercy, okay, to some extent, but real mercy is what we can never imagine what kind of mercy the Lord has. That and it comes. So that is why Lord Chaitanya is considered to be the best of all incarnations. Why? Because he is the most merciful. So first he is the Lord because he is most merciful. Who will be merciful? One who has something to give others, right? You can't show mercy when you yourself don't have anything. And he is the most merciful because he's got everything. And he wants to, he's still kind to us. He's taking care of each and every living entity and showing his kindness. That's the first cause for his being God. He's the Supreme Personality of God. And second, because all opulences, all prowess, all glory, strength, and transcendental qualities, and so that means the Bhagavan, one who possesses all the opulences, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is endowed with all six opulences in full. And moreover, he is extremely kind to his devotee. In material world, first of all, even if somebody has got a small fraction of all these qualities, then he's not very kind and all that to his, especially his servants or juniors. Because he becomes very proud about his possessions. Because if he's in material consciousness, for sure, that is the nature. In the material world, everyone is proud. And the minute you have some reason to be proud, then you become infatuated and then you don't care about other people. But here the Lord is so full. He's perfect. He's got unlimited of everything. And still he's so kind to his, extremely kind to his devotee. See, this is the quality we look, right? Suppose we see some great people. Oh, he's a very good, anyone, politician or film star or cricketer or anyone who everyone admires, musician. And then we always look for what is his personal quality. Is he very proud and arrogant, or is he very kind and humble? Then we glorify him even more. Then we accept. If he shows any even a little bit of pride, then it's like an ugly mark on a beautiful face. If there is one white mark on the face of skin disease, then it's rejected. I mean, people don't look at the face after that. So, in the same way, this quality is the most important. And the Lord, how is He kind? Because although He is full in Himself, He nonetheless wants all living entities to surrender unto Him so that they may engage in His service. Now, we may still think, what is so humble, kind about that? He's engaging in His service because He doesn't need our service at all. It is extra endeavor for Him to engage us in different services, and not only that, accept that service. He is, in fact, endeavoring to engage us in His service, to find different kinds of services for us, to empower us, to give us the intelligence, and then on top of that, accept it also with great gratitude and love, and reciprocate in return. So much, it is not as if he doesn't have to do anything. Why is He doing that? Because actually, He wants to have loving exchanges. And this love is not based on any real need. He doesn't need our service at all. He's self-satisfied. See, a materialistic boss, even if he has everything, you may say, he doesn't need any money from anybody. But still, if his subordinates come and offer him some gifts, he may at least get a material satisfaction that everybody, worships me, and they like me very much. Something he'll be getting out of it, or at least, oh, I'm the boss and they're all my subordinates. But here the Lord has no such need at all. He doesn't want to feel being, worshipped by others. That's what it means by being complete in Himself. So self-satisfied, He doesn't need any of these things. And yet, out of love, because He wants to exchange love with one another. This is the nature of the soul, spiritual quality. So that Krishna has. He is hungry only for one thing, which is love. That also, it is like not he is dependent really, because he has so many people to love, and anyway, he is full of love. But he enjoys exchanging love, which is very pure. That love in the spiritual world is not a dependent love. Here we calculate, right? Nowadays, people are calculating even to do jobs at home, which is considered, which is sort of um, taken for granted. For example, if people get married, okay, the wife doesn't, she thinks that, okay, I love my family. So she, or the mother, or the wife, I mean, as a mother, wife, or, whatever, daughter-in-law, she automatically thinks that out of love and affection, I should do the housework. But here nowadays, maybe because they feel they've been exploited, there is no love from the other side also. They might think, okay, I got a free servant, let her do more work. Maybe because of wanting to avoid that, they don't want to do work. Today, I mean, in the newspaper it came that in the Delhi court, they made a ruling that if a husband asks his wife to do housework, then that is not cruelty. I mean, as a wife, she is, if she says that I won't do anything and he requests her, please do, that is not cruelty. So it's come to that. Everything has got to be bargained. I will not, so because there's no love. It's just business. I don't know. Or they just don't know how to love because the heart has become completely closed because of too much sense gratification and pride. When you're proud, you don't care about anybody else's feelings or whether they live or die or how they live. I'm just worried about myself. So, um, but here Krishna wants to exchange love, which only gives. Krishna is giving so much to us and we don't even realize. We take everything and we take it for granted. He is God. No, He will give. And I I have to keep taking because He's got unlimited things. And I don't have, I mean, I'm in shortage of things. So if He gives, yes, keep giving. And we don't even feel grateful to that. We think that's God's role. What else are the things for? What else does he have the powers for but to maintain me? So this is the kind of attitude here in material world. We don't even know what is love. But Krishna, he wants to exchange pure love, which comes from the soul, which because the soul's nature is to just want to make other people happy. The one you love and that whom we love most. Every soul is intimately connected with Krishna and wants to and feels completely satisfied only by exchanging love with Krishna. And from that, other people, like reflected, like the sun. Every other every other luminous being, or even the most moon and the stars and planets, everything else is getting light from the sun. So, in the same way, if we have connection with Krishna, then that nourishes our relationships even with others. But that is secondary, that is reflected. Without a relationship with Krishna, our relationships with other people also will be just not really deep. It'll be superficial because, first of all, we don't have that, the what do you call like the transformer from where we are getting the power, right? We need to get that power in order to give light to other, through bulbs or whatever we are. The light comes, but it has to come from the transformer, right? From the source. So Krishna is the source who is supplying us love in our heart. And that love can be enriched only with relationship to him because the soul is deeply in love with Krishna and Krishna is deeply in love with the soul, every soul. However, I mean, we're all Vibhinamsha, we are not like expansions or something, Shakti Tattva, Shiva Tattva. They're all in a much, much higher category. I mean, equal in this thing, quantity to Krishna. But we are very tiny, but that doesn't matter for Krishna. For love, there is no concept of quantity, what you are, what form, all those things. Of course, form in the sense of how much we are ready to do for Krishna. Based on that, our form develops in the spiritual world. You can take many forms also if you want to do different types of services in by which to exchange love with Krishna. So if you naturally the gopis who want to give him complete pleasure, so they are considered the topmost. But for Krishna, he doesn't categorize it like that because every need of his is wonderful, is very exalted, it's spiritual. So whoever does anything for Krishna by which he is satisfied is glorious. And Krishna enjoys their love for him. So that is the only thing he wants to enjoy and give pleasure also to us of that love. And it is not one way. Love can never be one way. So he is already always giving us everything. And so if we also return that by giving him what he wants, then it becomes complete, right? We are always taking from him. We are already getting so much from him and we don't even realize that if we attempt to do something for him in return, then only it is loving relationship because we are also, it's two-way. And so what does he do? So he just asks as if he needs something. Please offer me a patram pushpam phalam toyam. And then with devotion. Don't just throw it at my face as if I'm dependent. I need all this, right? In material life, if someone asks us for something every day, that too, then we get irritated, right? If somebody is dependent on us, then people get irritated. Of course, within the family, there are dependents and all that, but one must treat everyone with respect because we are not the givers, first of all. Everything is coming from Krishna. And so he is saying that whatever you offer me, I don't even need it. And he is only supplying everything. But he wants our devotion, our love. Sometimes the Lord, as the child of Mother Yashoda, requests his devotee for some food as if he were hungry. Sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that is so this hunger, Krishna really goes through hunger and Mother Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, She can't bear to see that Krishna should be hungry. In fact, during the pastime of lifting the Govardhana hill, for 7 days, right? Krishna was so busy holding up the hill, he didn't even eat. And Mother Yashoda was cooking every day. Every day he was eating, she was making 8 kinds of preparations for him. So that, but he never ate because he was busy holding up the mountain. So on the last day, after everything was over, the rain subsided and he put the Govardhana back on its place. Then Mother Yashoda fed him 7 into 8, 56 items, which she had cooked for him. And that is where the Stappenbog originated. You know, why 56 items? As to wonder why, what is this number 56? We know 64 at least something. It is, I don't know, even 64, why? Because it's not even half of 108 or anything. So, and half of 108 is 54. Then why 56? This is the reason that Mother Yashoda, all the food that she cooked for all the 7 days, she fed Krishna. So she is always melting with love for her son that, oh, he should eat, he should be fine all the time, like a mother. That's what even Sachimata for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always worrying about her, that he should eat and he should be happy and he should not. And so even during Sankirtan, all the other devotees were ecstatically dancing. Her mind will be thinking, oh, my son is dancing so much and he's falling down and all that. Oh my God. She couldn't tolerate that. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by his Yoga Maya, he covered her so that she wouldn't realize what's happening. She was involved in her own dancing and singing during the Sankirtanas so that she was not getting involved with what is happening to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is, he wants to experience that paternal love. And so he has, those who want to be in that love. Then sometimes he tells his devotee in a dream that his temple and his garden are now very old and that he cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus, he requests the devotee to repair them, right? So, the Lord Himself takes, see, we only have to purify our heart so that we want to serve Him. Everything else He arranges. Even if we don't know where I'm going to, but if Krishna wants me, suppose He came in your dream and told, build one temple for me, and then you might get terrified. Oh my God, what is this order? How will I build a temple? You don't have to worry because the same Lord who has asked you to do something will provide also. We just have to pray to Him and then look out, take a little effort, and it will come. In fact, in the case of pure devotees like Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they didn't even take any effort to build a temple. They were busy doing their job. They were all Brahmanas. They are not in the job of finding money and all that. They're not Vaishyas. So they were sitting and writing all the books that they were told. And the Lord Himself arranged. He told Rupa Goswami, go to one deity. No, Sanatan Goswami, one businessman is there, Chaube. In his house, one deity is there. Go, I'm waiting to come to you. So he went there, he brought the deity, and he was first hanging it in his neck, and then in the night he used to hang it on the tree. Um, and he was just giving bare minimum, whatever. See, Madhukari, if they go, it's not that, oh, Madhukari means you can get any amount now, full villages there. No, Madhukari means every day, just 3 homes they would visit. Whatever comes in that 3 homes, they would just be satisfied with that. And then they won't spend the whole day wandering from door to door asking for food. So in that, whatever came, he would offer it to his deity. Please take. And mostly it'll be dry chapatis, whatever, whatever they, leftover chapatis, that's what they would give. And then without any salt. Some North Indians don't put salt in the chapati, what is most people. So maybe they never put salt even in the chapatis. So and then so then the deity spoke to Sanatan Goswami, Krishna, said, at least get some salt now. What is this? It is so tasteless. Then Sanatan Goswami said, now see, today you're asking for salt. Then tomorrow you'll ask something else. No, you be satisfied with whatever I'm getting. That's it. So the deity was satisfied because he's not he's not hungry for the chapatis or sabji or something. He is hungry for love. And he was so amazed to see the loving scolding of Sanatan Goswami. In whatever way love comes, he's happy. Now, the Sanatan Goswami, out of deep love for him, he was saying, see, I'm doing your work now. I'm sitting, whatever you told me, I'm sitting and writing now. So you be satisfied with that. So he was happy. What he wanted was only love. And what happened? He had a thatched house, in which he kept these deities. He was just doing some simple worship. Maybe he just offered some tulasi flowers, bathed them. I don't know, some very simple worship. They were there. And suddenly, one day, one salt merchant, he came that way. His boat got stuck just in front of Sanatan Goswami's place and in the rocks. And so his ship was sinking, and there was a chance of um, all the salt getting mixed up with the water, and he'll lose a lot of money. So at that time, that businessman saw the deity in front in that ashram, in that kutia, and he started praying to the deity, please, if you save my ship from sinking, I'll build a temple for you. So likewise, what happened? The ship got saved and all business was saved as, he didn't go to any loss, but rather the profit came. And with that profit, he told Sanatan Goswami, I would like to build a temple. And that's how the Madan Mohan temple came. So he did not budge. He didn't do anything. But he built a temple, and that was because the Lord wanted a temple, and through him, he arranged. So, this is how we just have to. They had complete desire to please Krishna. That is all Krishna wants. He wants to experience or taste the sweet love that we have for him, which gushes out of the heart. The soul is like that, it is like full of love. And that's why the best thing we can ask from the Lord is Krishna Prem, because it's abundant, it's eternal, it's always flowing, it's gushing. And if we have love for Krishna, then there cannot be any shortage of anything. That is the thing. And instead, we don't want to open our hearts for love. We ask for all other, temporary things which will run out. We'll run out of it again and again. We'll have to go and ask for it, and we'll not even be satisfied because our heart will not be filled with love. What will really satisfy us is only when our heart starts, feeling love and compassion. Then only, because the nature of the soul is to be very loving and very compassionate. And if we are only acting through the body and the mind, doesn't satisfy the soul. So that is why people get into depression nowadays, because the soul is sleeping too much. Soul is feeling so bored. There is no love at all. The soul wants what? It wants to experience love. Why is the heart considered to be the seat of love? Because the soul is there, and the soul is the one which loves, not the body. Body doesn't have love. Or not even the heart. Heart is simply just an organ, lifeless organ. It's inanimate. Only because the soul is there is the heart, okay? It's functioning, and the heart feels some pleasures and pains, emotions. We feel there because of the soul is feeling it. So um, that is the reason that, if we have relationship with Krishna, with love, then the same love will rub off on everyone, because everyone is connected to Krishna. So then you love everyone. And not only that, you will be nice to people, not so that they will be nice to you. Now in material life, it's like that. See, I'll scratch your back, you scratch my back. Now, if you don't scratch my back, I'll stop scratching your back. So it is like that. It's a deal we expect in material consciousness, because why? We want sense gratification. But when we serve Krishna, we don't want any sense gratification at all. body and the mind don't want any sense gratification because the soul is experiencing so much happiness. It's overruling all the lower things. The body, I'm separate from the body, right? That is the self-realization, is when we understand I'm a soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, I'm a servant of Krishna, and I'm so happy. And this body is like a dress. I don't want any sense gratification from the body or from the mind. So that is when we can really love people, because we just love. I just love you because you're a soul and you're a part and parcel of Krishna, not because you can give me some things or I get, something I'm getting out of you subtly or grossly. Then only I will bother. Or at least you should be nice to me. Otherwise, why should I bother about you? But it's not like that. The soul is not like that. The soul connected to Krishna it's so full, just like Krishna is all full in himself. A soul who is connected to Krishna, who has Krishna in his heart, also feels full. He doesn't need anything from this material world. And but that doesn't mean a pure devotee stops interacting with everyone. He's very concerned out of love for everyone, like Prabhupada. He went all over the world. He was so concerned, even about a tiny insect, what to speak of other human beings. Everyone was was the recipient of his compassion and love, because he was so happy in his love for Krishna. Krishna was all the time with him. And so he felt deep compassion and he wanted to connect with everyone so that they could also experience this love for Krishna. So that is then sometimes he is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out himself, he requests his devotee to rescue him, like he did to Madhavendra Puri. He said that, Madhavendra Puri went to Vrindavan and Krishna came in his dream and he said that, see, there I'm buried under the thing and please come and rescue me. And he went and told all the villagers. They all went there and, they trusted him because Madhavendra Puri is exalted. And they went inside the forest and it was very difficult through all the thorny bushes and everything. And then the place where Krishna had, in his dream, he had told them where exactly, and they dug and removed the Lord. And what else? Of course, he took him and kept him on top on the Vrindavan and Govardhan hill, and all the villagers, they all brought food. They were cooking. In this way, Madhavendra Puri engaged everybody in the service of the Lord. An opulent service was going on for Gopal. And then, what did Gopal tell him? Madhavendra Puri, I want sandalwood from Malaya mountains. Go and get it. So imagine, he's an old sannyasi, and he has to walk all the way to Puri, to Orissa, and then he has to walk back with all the sandalwood, logs of sandalwood trees. Is this possible? How could it? Physically, and he didn't have any money even to engage men and or go in a carriage or nothing, or horses, nothing. He had to walk alone. And he happily went. Oh, Krishna is engaging me. He didn't think, how am I going to do it? That is Krishna's problem. He told me to do, I will do it. So he somehow walked to that whole place. And then he had that pastime of Shirchor Gopinath, where Gopinath hid the sweet rice for him. And he became very famous there. And everybody was ready to do anything. And the king gave him, oh, don't worry, we'll give you sandalwood and men also to carry. But then when he went from Orissa to reached Remuna, where Shirchor Gopinath was there, then the Lord, he was so satisfied, how much my devotee loves me. He's ready to undertake all these difficulties for me. And even the Shirchor Gopinath incident happened because he was thinking, oh, the sweet rice, I wish I could offer my Gopal there. So much devoted he is. So I don't want all the sandalwood and all that. So he told Madhavendra Puri, there's no difference between me over here in Vrindavan and the Gopinath in Remuna. So you simply, all the sandalwood, you offer Gopinath only and you come back. So he did that. So Krishna doesn't want to simply make us do, he doesn't need anything. Simply he exchanged, and Madhavendra Puri was in ecstasy to carry out this service for Krishna like that. And sometimes he's buried, okay, and sometimes he requests his devotee to preach his glories all over the world, although he alone is quite competent to perform this task. So that happened in the case of Prabhupada. We know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He predicted also, my name will be sung all over the world. He already did it all over India, and he could have managed all over the world also. But he said, no, I have done around India, and my Senapati Bhakta will take it all over the world. So he gave a bigger task for his devotee. Devotee he glorifies much more than himself. Oh, he did all over India. That is much easier to take it all over the world when nobody has heard what is Rama, what is Krishna, what is nothing about. I mean, it was Sanatan Dharma was there earlier, but in the last um, thousands of years, no question of that, especially in the last 2000 years after the Abrahamic religions and all came there, the Sanatan Dharma was sort of completely forgotten in all these places. And he had to take it all over the world alone. Again, there's nothing. He absolutely, I don't know, when you think about Prabhupada, that is when it's so inspiring. It's so inspiring and it gives us faith that all he did was what? Chant Hare Krishna. He got his instruction from his spiritual master, go to the West and preach. So he was trying, he kept telling everyone, if you can, sponsor my ticket to America, something he was trying, and then he got that. And then what? He doesn't have one single soul. Now, nobody over there, no money, nothing. And what was he doing? He was sitting in Shantipur in that temple and chanting every day. That Pujari said every day, Abhay Babu used to come and sit and chant. And then when he went to Vrindavan also, every night, the Pujari, who is still the Pujari of that Radha Damodar Mandir, he said, I was living close by, close to the temple, and every night, in the middle of the night, I would hear someone loudly crying. And that was, later he found out it was Abhay. I mean, he was then maybe Bhaktivedanta Swami. He had already taken sannyas. So he was praying to Rupa Goswami, oh, please help me, let me serve you. So that is all he did. He had no material support. Only what he was doing was crying out to Krishna, you gave me all this work, my spiritual master. He gave me all this work. And the only thing, and he later also said, see, don't credit me with all whatever happened. If at all you want to credit me, give me the credit for having complete faith in the words of my spiritual master and complete faith in the power of the holy name. And literally, he only did that. He had complete faith in what his spiritual master told him at the very first meeting, that you go to the West and preach, and the means to do it, chant Hare Krishna mantra. And that's all. And he wrote the Srimad Bhagvatam, of course, because his spiritual master told him that you are very educated in English. Why don't you preach in that language? So, and he was very educated, I mean, scholarly, and so he wrote the books. But apart from that, what did he have? And only his desire to please his Guru and Krishna. That's all. And everything else manifested because of his firm faith and love for Krishna. So that is the most important thing. If we want to do anything, we have to first see what is my motivation. Our motivation should be right. Even people who do businesses, as they nowadays, so many people are doing startups and all that. Those who are thinking about not just business for my profit, but they're thinking, I should give quality product, something which is essential for people, and something that I give without cheating, and I could give good quality product, which is beneficial to people. And I don't just squeeze them out of money, but I'm very fair and win-win situation. They also win, I also win. If you have that kind of motivation, you will definitely be successful. So intent is very important, even in material affairs. If you you don't want to, unless, I mean, you have that I should benefit people apart from whatever you're trying to earn and all that, then definitely it will bring back all good results. So that is um, you know so that is why. And in preaching also, why do I want to preach? Why do I want to give out Krishna consciousness? If it is simply for my self satisfaction, that I am a good preacher, I also did something, I can tell everyone I'm also a preacher and I did this and I did that, or I want to feel that I did something great, and so many people are benefiting by me, all those, anything other than the fact that I simply want to satisfy my guru, satisfy Lord Chaitanya, because he is the one who's told everyone you should go and preach. Yaridika tarikaha Krishna Upadesh, Amar Agnyaya Guru hoy, Taro e desh. He wants that. And my spiritual master also wants that. And I have got somehow, by mercy of Krishna, I've got what? Hare Krishna mantra. And if I can reach out to somebody and make them happy, that's all. If we really genuinely want that, it will definitely happen. Krishna will make one big line of people to come as much as we can. He doesn't take more than whatever we desire, whatever we can, he will arrange. And likewise, in all our activities, in all our relationships, it should always be very genuine, not exploitative or not selfish or not superficial and hypocritical. Because this Kali Yuga is an age of hypocrisy and quarrel. Why hypocrisy? Simply you'll talk whatever, what is the correct, whatever is politically correct, we have to speak, smile, and say all the right things, whether we mean it or not. That is hypocrisy. Or the truth is something else and still you mouth something else. So that is all hypocrisy. But if we have to become more genuine and in a mode of goodness is, it's on the platform of understanding that I'm a soul and everyone else is also soul, and relationships should be on that platform, that no, that we do, I mean, we collaborate to do something good for society. Friendships, if it has got, devotee friendships also must be for to achieve something wonderful for Krishna. If you simply go and, okay, I'm associating with devotees, I simply go there, okay, they give me food and I give them food. Sometimes they come and eat food with me. But beyond that, if there is no desire to advance in Krishna consciousness through that association, that we talk Krishna Katha and we plan how to, also bring others to Krishna consciousness, help one another in our services. Maybe they have some other service, I have some other service. I help when they need and they help when I need, and we celebrate our successes. Don't feel competitive, but cooperative. Those are very nice, sweet relationships, right? Even within the family, there should be a lot of communication and, um, give them freedom to choose what they want, their dreams, and everybody is there to fulfill their dreams, and celebrate whatever their achievements. So then relationships flourish very nicely, beautifully. To some, I mean, of course, it's not perfect. And without Krishna being the goal, it can never be really fully satisfactory. So if we have the motivation that I want to live in this world, only as Krishna's servant, and I want to even, so then you don't have to take sannyas and all that. Really speaking, why do we take sannyas? Why do people take sannyas? To remember Krishna always. And why other people are not able to remember Krishna when they are in their homes? Because they're thinking of their own sense gratification. But if even while staying at home, working and all that, you come to the platform of understanding that I am a spirit soul. And all these people, then you use your body, mind, words, everything to glorify Krishna. Then what does it matter where you are? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Grihitaku, Vanitaku, Sada Hari Boledaku. In this age, the Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful that even a house, somebody, a grihastha, can get the same results as a sannyasi. That is how powerful Hare Krishna mantra is. So, what we should do again, it comes back to the basics. This is the only thing. Hare Krishna mantra chanting every morning. We've got a golden mine in front of us, and that is available to everyone. And all we have to do is believe in this holy name. Oh my God, this is Krishna himself. And I have to develop my relationship with Krishna, that I'm his servant. I've been for too long thinking I'm equal to him. I also want to enjoy. He is God. I also want to be God of small things. I want to have the experience that, I'm a Lord and people listen to me and I'm opulent and I'm beautiful and I'm worshipped and I'm all this, whatever, all the six opulences I also want. I'm a tiny Bhagavan. This is what we've been running around for so many lifetimes, zillion, I don't know, unlimited, Nitya Baddha. We've been here for a long time trying to lord it, lord it, lord it. And still we don't seem to be satisfied. And we are getting nicely kicked in Kali Yuga because everybody's false ego is very sharpened and very, very, what do you call, um, the antennas are there, they're feelers. Anybody, if you insult me in some way, maybe I'm even imagining that you're insulting me, finished. I'll just do anything to suppress them. I will not. So when there is too much of false ego, that's where there is no love, right? There is no false ego, then there is full of love. And that's why, because people are full of false ego and putting up all shows and, you know, superficialities, so that it is simply to glorify myself. And it doesn't satisfy at all. And we can never be, and we see all these qualities of God, six opulences to the full. Can we ever hope to have all that? Then why? When he is clearly saying, this is not your state of, it's not your aukat, or what, this is not what your nature is. You are meant to serve. You are a tiny little soul, and we are infinitesimal, and he is infinite. So we have to come to terms only with this, oh my Lord, and we feel happy in glorifying the Lord. And then our sense of experiencing greatness, we can do it through the Lord, vicarious. And it's not even vicarious because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So we have to learn how to become happy in the greatness of Krishna. Then we will not be so much harassed. Our mind will not harass us about glorifying ourselves. I want to become great, and everyone should glorify me. That will die down automatically because we're getting so much happiness of Krishna's greatness. That is the only thing we have to work on, is within ourselves. And that's where Prahlad Maharaj said, other than our uncontrolled mind, there is no other enemy in this world. All the sufferings are only because mind is seeking sense gratification, either subtle or gross. And when we get it, we become too elated, and then we lose our sense of balance and do all stupid things. And when we don't get it, there is so much pain and suffering. So we want to come out of that. We've seen it repeatedly, and by chanting Hare Krishna, we become more sensitive to what is life, what is happening, why. I mean, the totally what we're looking for and what we're getting, there's a big discrepancy. What's the purpose of life? That is what people start thinking. And nowadays, the wonderful thing is that young people, even in their ages of 25 and all, even in India, for example, I don't know, maybe all over the world, youth, they are achieving everything at very, very young age. Okay, they already, they pass out of the universities, they get a big job, and then they get a lot of money, and in whatever way, very soon, within few years they get everything, their house, their car, their properties, and whatever bank accounts, everything they get. And then now what is left in life to achieve? So that is when they, the Paramatma tells them, look for something else beyond all this. So there is a lot of interest in spiritual life, and the youth are very nice. Actually, the youth are very, very intelligent, even though their lifestyle and all is stupid because of the educational system and social system, all westernized, unregulated. But actually, they're very, very intelligent, and far more than our generations. I mean, that is my generations, where people took a long time to achieve material success. So whole life was wasted simply in running after that goal. Then once they got it, that is when they will start thinking, okay, now I'll think about God and spiritual life. But here, they're very smart. They did everything. They already got everything. So they're ready to move on. So that's a good thing. And Krishna is waiting to give, Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna, everywhere it's happening. ISKCON is the front runner of that. But then in other ways, so many people are wanting, the whole world, of course, is alive to that Ram Mandir. It's having a big effect on people. So many people are, in their own way, they want to progress in spiritual life and thinking about God. So, and then, even though the Supreme Personality of God is endowed with all possessions and is self sufficient, it depends on his devotees. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. Another example is this Kalia. When he was, Krishna danced on his hoods and removed all the poison from his head. Then after that, of course, he surrenders because he remembers his wives who kept on telling him, please surrender to Krishna, surrender to Krishna. He never listened to them. Now, when Krishna completely removed this false ego, totally was shattered, he didn't have anything, no pride, nothing left. And then he surrendered. And then after that, because his wives, they glorified Krishna with very nice choicest of, you know, descriptions, I mean, glorifications of him. So from there, something he took here and there, 2, 3 verses, he glorified Krishna. And then he and his family came and offered a lot of things, offerings to Krishna. And in that, they gave, clothing, no, a lot of jewels. That is what they have, right? Nagas have a lot of these monies. They have a lot of jewels and all that. So what one of the acharyas say, it's not mentioned in the Bhagavatam, but in the commentary, I think it was Sridhar Swami or and one of them, he wrote that actually Krishna, he also, because he appeared as an ordinary human being, so he didn't come with the Kaustuba money and all that. And so this Kaustuba money was put into the treasury of the Nagas, Nagapatnis, this thing, their. And when they offered all their whatever they had to Krishna, this Kaustuba money also came back to Krishna. So now see how Krishna arranges. They didn't, everything belongs to Krishna only. And then he very kindly put that Kaustuba money also in there, and so that then they'll get the credit of offering such valuable things to Krishna. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with his devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in himself, depends on his devotee for some particular work. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 11.33, where Lord tells Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. O Arjuna, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra, but nonetheless he induced his devotee Arjuna to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread his name and mission all over the world, but still he depended upon his devotee to do this work. And Prabhupada himself is saying this. It's about himself. And so he only knows what confidential thing he has with Krishna. Considering all these points, the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency is that he depends on his devotees. That is always, he is a mix of all contradictions, right? Achintya Beda Beda Tattva, simultaneously one and different. So he is completely independent and completely dependent also. Both are there in Krishna. This is called as causeless mercy. It's only mercy that he puts, and even as deities, okay, Krishna comes. Why does he give us deity worship? So that we can bathe him, dress him, feed him. Every devotee can do that. It's such a wonderful offering of love and intimate exchange that a devotee has with the Lord. Imagine, nobody knows. I mean, this is something beautiful in our this thing, Sanatan Dharma, that we have this opportunity to bathe the Lord and dress him up. And, and that also inspiration he gives, how to dress him and all that. Devotee, initially you see his dressing, it may be very simple. And as he goes on, he becomes very expert. Because Krishna is pleased with his service and is giving more and more inspirations and also opportunities to learn from everywhere so that he can perfect better and better his service. So like this, it is his mercy. The devotee who has perceived this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by realization can understand the master and the servant. So Krishna is the eternal master and we are his eternal servants, and that is actually wonderful. The servant feels blissful in that. It's not like materially the mind might think, oh, always I only have to be a servant, because in material life, we're always looking to improve our position. And a junior person thinks after a few years, I also want to sit in the boss's thing. So that possibility is there. But so in spiritual life also, people have such dreams, right? That is how the Mayavadis want to merge in the Brahmajyoti and feel they are God. But once we understand that we will never be, there is Ekala Ishwara Krishna, only Krishna is the enjoyer. Or our Sababritya, everyone else is servant, even Balarama, even Radharani, even all the Vishnu Tattvas, everybody is only servant of Krishna, then what to speak of us? They are not feeling jealous of Krishna. Why you only have to be the God? I also sometimes I'll be God. No, they're all so happy to give, to serve. And Krishna is also waiting to serve all his devotees. Okay, I'll stop now. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji, my Danat Pradam to you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. It was such a wonderful, enlightening class after such a long time. We are like kind of, at least I'm speaking for myself. I have this addiction that I have to hear your class, and if I don't, then I'm like, where's Mataji gone in my life? So very nice, Mataji. So nicely you explained. And, it's very amazing how like for us this morning here, you shared realizations where, Krishna is interacting with his devotees and telling and wants to give credit to the devotees. And it's such a heart-to-heart relationship, that go and make a temple, do this, do that. And several times, I think in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we have come across where Krishna has spoken through, some pujari or someone very dear to him in the dreams, where sometimes for us, I think the dream is something which, sometimes when I have some dream in the morning, I try to understand why I got this dream. And in that dream, one thing will come out to be like very fake. Something I like, oh, where was I? I mean, so many hours I wasted in sleep dreaming, and then I was not thinking of Krishna. And now, so I come to know that this is just like maybe oversleeping or something, materially running, so to say, in my mind. But it's amazing how people who are very closely connected, these special, very senior devotees, their Krishna has a heart-to-heart connection. And we also so fortunate that at least we are connected to some, devotees, our Guru Maharaj, our everyone, around us, devotees. So somehow, in connection with them, we are also somehow becoming blissful. And so just some realization that came, from your class, Mataji. Very nice. And I think in one of your class you were mentioning, because we tend to, do mostly engage in devotional service and we read very less news. So recently I was in Delhi, of course, and then I came back. So, like you mentioning, there was something in the news. I didn't catch that, like about housework or something you were saying. I don't know in what context you were saying. Um, some news you read about something came out in the Supreme
No,
Court. What was that?
no, the court
Court, okay.
had ordered
Hmm.
every day something like this comes every day. And this today's latest thing was that if a husband asks his wife to do housework, that does not amount to cruelty, because she had sued him in court saying he's very cruel because he's forcing me to do housework. But doing housework, it is done as love for the family, and one should not take it as this thing. And so she gave the excuse, no, no, I am doing, but still they want me to do. And then what he did, just to satisfy her, he took another house, not with the joint family outside, but still she was not satisfied, and she spent most of her time in her mother's house. So like this was the case. And she filed this thing in the court saying he's asking me to do housework, and that is cruelty.
Okay. And it's so amazing that imagine yeah, I was some thoughts were coming to me on this point. I was thinking that what we have heard from Krishna conscious point of view, like Prabhupada stressed on two things. One is cleaning and cooking. That's two, like you can say, dharma. Like
Mm,
it's like our dharma. It's like something like, I mean, even if we have, suppose we have a maid also coming or something like that. In India, there's a system, right? Still, you have to tell her, do it slowly, do it nicely, pick this up, take the, stuff out from the below the bed, because they will quickly come and do, because, it's a very mechanical thing. And I mean, we have to keep the
mm,
upkeep, and then of course, cooking also, like this was my experience when I was in India. I was living in these DDA flats, which one happens to belong to my mother. And, there I was noticing, and we would walk around and see, like, I mean, I would only see maids and coming, and sometimes some of them are very religious. They'll do Ram Ram and they will say Hare Krishna. And, they will, and when I would talk to them, and I would not see any, so to say, homeowners around, only maids and maids are available, coming, and they're doing all the work in the house. So I was just wondering what they do at home, the
mm,
ladies. They're under, I mean, they have money, everything is there, but it's also leading to health crisis, because there's no activity. And
mm,
they'll go for walk and all those things they will do. But like I think regular housework one does, then it's very important, because the way we will keep clean, like if we have to clean the bathroom or something, we will do it because it
mm,
belongs to us, and we'll clean in such a way that we know that we want it to be clean for the whole week, nicely.
mm,
We won't just do it, like just okay, put the water and done. We'll nicely put soap everywhere in the bathroom tubs, this that. So I feel it's and I was hearing in regarding to this that in one Prabhuji was mentioning, I think it was Radhesham Prabhu's lecture. I was hearing that one time there was a temple, very old temple, and it was so cleanly kept, very clean. I mean, from wall to wall, that Srila Prabhupada was very happy, and he said that if for no other reason than just the cleanliness is going to attract the people to come to this small little temple. Just the cleanliness
mm,
of the temple, and when everything is clean, it smells so fresh and nice, and there's no dust. So
mm,
Srila Prabhupada stressed so much on cleanliness. Now, who will do the cleanliness? These days they have robotic robots and all doing, but they can't do as how human hands can do still. So but yeah, like it's amazing. I was just thinking that I was not very happy about my experience in Delhi with so many like homeowners, apartment owners there. Like we
mm,
call them homeowners in USA, so it's like homeowner there, no? Like even tenants staying there. Some of them I talk to in the neighborhood and all, and they all have like maids coming to cook, and I don't know with what consciousness those maids are coming. Then they are saying, and then they will say, you come, please come over, and have lunch. What do you want me to tell my maid to make? So I was like, I would not eat. We would not take anything, because we yeah. So it's like I sometimes think that, if all these people who have maids coming, if they were exposed to Krishna consciousness, then how much they can come out of the ignorance and passion and all these other modes, because it's so important, our ahar, uh, that makes up, like, so much part of our bhakti. So yes, Mataji, thank you once again for your coming and your association, Mataji, and please keep coming at least once a month. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
And for all your patient hearing.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it was such an enlightening class, I can say, as Rupini Padma Mataji mentioned. It was after a long time, but it was really wonderful. You touched on all the points, like about the youths. You said they achieve everything, and then at the end, they sometimes or the other have to realize, or may they realize that there is something more to achieve in spirit, from the point of spiritual way or spirituality. One can enhance if one achieves everything. But also at the same time, you mentioned about a grahastha doing all practice at home, and you mentioned about can achieve the same degree of like sannyasi, you said. So would you please elaborate on that, Mataji, exactly what you meant to say?
No, it either you renounce everything and you don't deny the senses and the mind, which sannyasi does, or you do yukta vairagya, means you use everything, your body, mind, words, for satisfying Krishna. So both are the same. That's what Rupa Goswami said. Now, yukta vairagya, do everything. So that only when we see ourselves as servants of Krishna, then we can do that. Otherwise, we think everything is for myself. Whatever we do, we want some sense gratification out of it. But instead, if we think of Krishna, we think I'm a servant of Krishna. Let me do for his satisfaction. Then it doesn't matter if you're living at home also, you're thinking of Krishna and using everything to satisfy him.
Yes.
More, see, that is why internal change has to come first. That is why Hare Krishna mantra is very, before changing the consciousness, if we try to do, then it seems very difficult and artificial. How to connect it. That's why they have given us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this chanting, by which we can, develop gradually the desire to serve Krishna. Like that, starting from prasadam and, doing all our work, even maintaining our body, everything is so that I can progress. So that, because if chanting becomes the center of our lives, I'm doing everything, I will never compromise on this one activity by which I can realize Krishna. You can make that as your goal. And then you'll see that you become very regulated in all the activities. You'll not go to bed very late because you don't want to miss getting up early and chanting. And you'll not do things which is an obstruction to our spiritual progress. And we'll do everything which is conducive to our spiritual progress. So in this way, if we have that goal fixed, then automatically everything, even our jobs, we will do only so much, so that we will not be thinking how to make more and more and more and more money. We do as much as is possible for a balance. There should be a balance in our life. We do my devotional activities also, give time for my family also. I will not do things just out of balance just for the sake of money or position, like that. So if we just one thing that I have to progress in Krishna consciousness will make us connect everything with Krishna. So, and then we will, whatever extra money we have, instead of just wasting it on useless things, we'll try to do something for Krishna, right? So it's very practical. At the same time, consciousness, very naturally, we want to do, because when you start loving Krishna more and more, then you will only think that my happiness is in doing things for Krishna. So automatically we'll become pulled, drawn into more and more Krishna conscious activities. We'll associate with devotees and we'll do more services, right? And spend more for Krishna. It all happens naturally.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
correct.
it? A Grasta also can go back to Godhead. A Grasta can also do things, preach and all that. And ultimately, so we have in the Bhagvatam, we have kings also who are pure devotees. And we have sannyasis also who are pure devotees.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. I think
So
every day.
according to Varnashrama, definitely we must give all respect to sannyasis because they are considered the topmost. So we should not think, we are all equal like that. We must always give them a lot of respect. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself showed by this thing, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was a grihastha, whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sannyasi. But when he was going to South India tour, he paid obeisances to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and asked him, please give me your blessings. Yeah, he said, you're sannyasi grihastha. No, he didn't see that because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a great devotee. And so ultimately, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't think, oh, so now I am equal. Not like that. But out of humility, spiritually, there is not a difference. So actually, according to Varnashrama, you have to respect sannyasis and they are considered the topmost. But spiritually, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, thank you for.
Yeah, I wanted to add, like, actually, Mataji, you're so right. Because the thing is that whatever sannyasis are following, the grihasthas are also following. And the only thing is, like, we, of course, we can, we extend the family by giving birth to children, and that too, we engage sex life also for the propagating children. So that also becomes like an act, and that too, if husband wife are devotees, only even one person is devotees, they have to chant 50 rounds, such a big austerity. Before, like, it's not only, it's all about, I mean, to think of it, like, I was thinking that, how the consciousness within 16 rounds we do, we become like, we feel so fresh and happy, and we feel, oh, we achieved something today. We did our rounds. We were able to, we thank Krishna. Oh, Krishna, I was able to complete my rounds because, I have so much of sinful accounts in my past, but, even present life, but still somehow, you put me to this purificatory track, purifying Krishna conscious track. And I'm just like, and you consider me as one of your sevak or devotee or whatever Krishna thinks of us, like that. So, but like, I was just thinking that, it is just such a wonderful thing. Whatever acharyas have given, like 50 rounds you chant, or automatically, the couple has, Krishna conscious mind, and then they will attract that soul only, which is going to be devotees. And I was recently seeing there's this young boy. I think it's his father's name is Ranjan Mohan. He's in Mayapur. He's got a small son. So Mataji, the way he does kirtan, it is so amazing. Like, and when I hear him, I always think that, I'm sure their parents have chanted 50 rounds and, gave birth to such a wonderful soul. And, like Srila Prabhupada said, that these children are from the Vaikuntha. So whenever I see him, I feel like, yes, that is true. This boy does not belong because, he'll give lectures. A small little boy, must be kindergarten, and he's giving this heavy lectures, heavy, not lectures, kirtan in Mayapur, and so many people and small little fingers running on the harmonium. I am so amazed to see the small little Vaishnava boy. It's
Yeah.
like, I hear him, I
And
watch him
of
on
course,
yeah.
yeah, that's what for good children. At the same time, it
Yes.
is not mechanically done so that they also fulfill. See, because there is some material sense gratificatory thing, no desire. So Krishna allows that. So you should do it naturally and with love, and with more love than lust. And then what happens? You also get very good children, and your desire for sex also gets fulfilled. It gets purified. And then Prabhupada says that in Grihastha life, other ways of expressing love and affection is totally allowed, like hugs and kisses and endearments. Those are all okay. Only the act of procreation, that is meant for procreation. So even that is done so aesthetically that you have this Kama Sutra and all is actually meant for that. So that, I mean, we don't follow all that. We don't have to. But I'm saying that is how Vedic culture is. That they do everything aesthetically and with love. So then, you get, that is, you get fulfilled also. And otherwise, lust can never be fulfilled. Lust is doing only for the pleasure, physical pleasure, but love for a higher purpose, for expressing your love, for getting children, all this actually ennobles and sublimates that physical desire. So that's how, in Vedic culture, it was possible. People did only for, procreation, and then they were happy. They were satisfied. But you see, nowadays, they're not at all satisfied. And then fun is also not enough. They keep looking for extramarital affairs. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, what I understood, like summary from your class, like if we keep Krishna Seva, or Krishna, like basically consciousness in the way that whatever we do it for Krishna. Then, when we have that thought the whole day, in our routine day as well, then I think then there is a least chance where we can, one can slip out of the goodness instead of falling to ignorance. So, yeah, maybe if we have that strike in mind, like, oh, I have to eat Krishna conscious food, then example. So I think that will definitely. So thank you for that summarized message. What I am thinking to take it, from today's class.
Thank you very much.
Till we did not hear anything from Partha Prabhu, but normally Partha Prabhu also has so many questions.
So Prabhuji, one thing I really liked, I just want to mention one line, that each one of us should have something to take from the class, and then we have to say it out. Because sometimes, even Shamarasika Mataji, you and Partha Prabhu, you say some point that this is, I really liked. And I had not even heard that point. My mind was somewhere else, And when we say the points out, and especially even a person who's speaking like Mataji, she also feels happy that somebody has retained the points, and so that's such a wonderful thing. We can start on the call where everybody, whoever is joined, Alex Prabhu, there are others also. I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong name, but we can all retain some points and speak, even if we don't have questions. Thank you so much for mentioning this. So it encourages also Prabhuji to
Yes,
mention
Mata.
points. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanna Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Pranam. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Such a nice class. You explained so nicely how merciful the Lord is. He takes the various forms so that we can exchange our love, and He also wants to love us and get loved. So because that was the original constitutional position, so God wants to relish it, and He gives the opportunity to us to relish it. So it is so nice and striking, and gives a realization that the Lord wants to take us back, but it is we who are taking our place away from Him. So that was very nice, Mataji. Thank you very much for your nectarian class and your purifying session. Please enlighten us and purify us more and more.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.